Butthole town. What goes up and around the corner. Butthole town. Well, we gotta get out of a butthole town.
So if you fell down a spiral staircase, then would you get a concussion and be dizzy, or I don't know how that works.
Well, I never really I've never seen a spiral staircase before in real life, so I can't really attest to that.
Yeah, I guess you're not going to be much help. Anybody, welcome.
You lived in a trailer.
What?
How are you even going to know?
I don't live in a trailer. I live in a house. Like
I said you lived in one. Anyways, guys.
Welcome back,
Butthole
everybody,
Town.
to episode 27 of Butthole Town. Also, season 2, episode 4. I had a screw up last week where I said it was episode 26, season 2, episode 2. It was actually episode 3. I apologize if that confused anyone.
Screw up.
I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back here at Butthole Town. I'm Ben Sheffield, your main host,
Nope.
and we got Joel Knowles over
I'm
there.
your
He
main
helps
host,
out.
and I will be leading you in this podcast today.
Joel is like the air hostess, and I'm like the pilot, and I'm flying this plane, and we're gonna land, baby.
No, we're like, you're like Butch Cassidy, and I'm like Mozart.
No. Actually, in the very beginning of this podcast, I want to apologize because you guys might have heard the metronome that was like blasting in my ears because it was so loud, and I apologize for that if you heard some clicking. I do have one thing to say really quick. While Joel was talking to his parents on the phone before this podcast started, I was warming up some hot dogs in the microwave.
Okay. Real
And
grown-up food.
And so I was thinking about, Joel, you don't even like hot dogs, so shut up.
I know, that's why I'm making fun of you.
Yeah, but everybody else loves hot dogs.
That's not true.
LMS if you like hot dogs. Anyways, I put the hot dog in the microwave, and I went to put like 40 seconds in, but I accidentally pressed 4 minutes. and I was like, oh no. And then I just imagined like a world where once you put the time in the microwave, you couldn't get it out. Like it's locked, it locks itself, and it's like, no! Once you actually put the wrong time in, I was just like, that'd be so wild if like that's how microwaves worked. Like if you screwed up the time, you're just screwed.
So did you legit like think that to start with? That you were gonna be able to open the
I
microwave?
didn't. But I acted that way. I like freaked out, and then I was like, that would be crazy.
Yeah, that wouldn't be convenient at all.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, I accidentally put 60 minutes instead of 60 seconds. We're all gonna die.
You just hear the little 60 minutes timer start in the background from the TV show.
The microwave radiation is gonna kill us all, and this freaking chicken noodle soup is gonna explode everywhere.
Well, what would have been funnier is if you didn't realize you put in 4 minutes and you kept waiting. Like, this has been a really long time, and you go in there and your whole inside of your microwave is just splattered in a hot dog.
I just never realized. I just think 40 seconds just lasted a really long time. Like, wow, it's 40 seconds is really slow right now.
Yeah, it's like, am I bending
time is slowing down. Yeah.
Is the world coming to an end?
So what's up with you?
Oh, nothing much. Just living life.
Like Larry.
What?
Living like Larry is the SpongeBob reference. Remember? Whatever.
I don't.
Anyways,
know that one.
I got a Butthole Town segment real quick since Joel's being a weirdo freak.
What?
Oh, excuse me. He's being a freak. And I was gonna say, this is a really quick story. I haven't been back home in a while.
Yeah, me either. It's been like a month and a half or something.
So I don't have any like fresh Butthole Town news. By the way, for people that are listening new, Butthole Town is what we lovingly refer to as our hometown. We were raised there. Now we've moved out. We've spread our wings and flown away. But we like to reverence it. It's kind of what the podcast was based around, but we've kind of just made it into something else. Yeah. Anyways, we keep this segment in the podcast to talk about what's going on in our hometown. And this week, I just want to talk about something that happened to me a long time ago with this guy. And what brought this up was that my mom saw this guy when she was back home, and he was working at a sub shop. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like I remember this dude. Anyways, so me and Joel were musicians, and I've played music for a while, for like, I don't know, since I was probably like 11 years old. And I was in a talent show And this guy, his name is Brad. I'll just say his first name. It doesn't matter.
We can use his last name too. This guy's name was
No,
Brad.
I'm not going to dox him. Don't dox his whole... Like,
no, we're going to have...
His name's...
We got to play his video. We got to put a link to his video in there.
No, I'm not going to do that to him. Anyways, his name's Brad.
It's public music. It's not like he made any... Like, it was his music. He put it out there.
Yeah, but he might be ashamed of it.
Well, then he should have took it down.
Well, he did. Well, he actually did, I guess.
One video. They probably just kicked it off of YouTube. Anyway, let's get back to the story.
So I was in a talent show, and Brad was one of the hosts. Okay, Joel, why?
Because people's got to look this up.
Yeah, but don't clown on him. Please don't clown on this guy. Because I don't want to say his last name because I was going to clown on him. Dang it. Whatever. I'm not going to clown on him.
Nobody's going to know who this dude is.
Okay, his name's Brad Meeks, and he was a talent show judge, not a host. He was a judge. I was going to say host. He was one of the judges, and I was in the talent show by myself doing some acoustic songs, and he actually sung some too. I remember he was at the end.
He was like the halftime show for the
it.
Which is
and
weird.
Imagine
it's like you've been sitting there listening to people sing for like an hour and a half, and you want a break, and the guy comes on stage and sings for 15 minutes. And then it goes back to more people singing. It's not the best call.
Anyways, imagine like Josh Turner,
but Walmart Josh Turner.
No, gosh, I wasn't gonna say it was worse. He really had a decent voice. The guy doesn't sing badly.
No,
he sounds like Josh Turner. Anyways, he sings really deep, deep country music. And anyways, his lyrics were questionable to his song, but it's okay.
Questionable, not as in they were bad.
Not bad, just they
not
were
explicit.
Bad.
They were bad.
Yeah. Bad, like as in just kind of like, what the heck did he just say?
Not good.
And anyways, I performed a song, and he said it was very like risky for me to have sung an original song, and I remember being like 13 or 14 at the time, and just being so pissed that he said that it was risky for me to play one of my original songs.
Well, he was also one of the few judges that gave you like a not great score.
I know,
and criticized you on stuff that didn't happen. Like, he was criticizing notes you missed or something. It's like, how are you going to know if he missed a note in his own song?
Well, I mean, when a note's flat.
Yeah, but, like, not, like, if it was supposed to go up and you didn't go up or something, it's not like he knew that you couldn't do the notes of your own song.
Yeah, I don't know if he said I was weak voiced or something. He might have. I remember him saying he thought I sounded like Chris Tomlin. I read one of those, but he said that it was risky for me to have done that, and I just remember like I've kept that forever. That's been like 10 years ago, and I'm still like a little bitter over that, Brad. But anyways, I remember after the talent show, me and Joel went to YouTube and looked him up, and this video has been now since deleted, but you can still look up the song Brad Meeks, "What We Do in the South." There's a live performance out there where he was on local news singing the song. But the music video, I hate that it's gone because it was such a so funny. Because it wasn't that it was funny, like necessarily the content of it, but it was funny that it was like
that bad.
3 pixels. The whole video was like the lowest possible quality video.
Okay, to give people perspective, it was letterboxed on 240p on YouTube. So yeah, it was really low quality.
Like you could barely tell there were like humans moving on screen. It looked like one of those old 60s video games. So it was like, what? There's like something moving.
It was like a side scroller video game. It was filmed with a flip phone. Like, it had to have been. There was no camera that could produce quality that bad.
But there was a line in this song that stuck with me and Joel since then, and we've still made jokes about it. Like, I swear, even before my mom says she saw him and like we started talking about him again, we still make that joke on a regular.
Oh, on a regular basis.
On a regular basis. And so I'll read the lyrics to a second verse just to give you guys like an idea of what the song
high
goes
quality.
like.
Well, okay, let me just say this one thing before that. What's really funny about this is because everybody at this talent show hyped this dude up so much. Like, he was going to be the next big country star.
He was a local legend.
Yeah, and he was the big guest judge for this show and all that stuff. So we had kind of high expectations going into this song.
And we had high expectations, and then now I found out that he's working at a sub shop. He's not in Nashville, and it broke my heart. All right, so here's the second verse. Although I wish him the best of luck at his sub shop. I'm not dissing him for working at subs. I love subs. Anyways,
get that bread.
Get that bread, Brad. Get that bread, Brad. So here's the second verse. Tractors are plowing all day long, singing out loud to a country song. And here's the line. Carbonated drink is called a Coke. Got a restaurant just for the people that smoke. We could name your state by the things you say. Switched from heat to air in the same day.
Okay, hold on a second. You screwed up reading that.
No, I didn't.
You just said carbonated drink is called a Coke. You didn't say every.
That's what he said in the live performance, Joel. That's why I typed it down. He didn't say every.
Are you serious?
Yes, he said carbonated drink is called a Coke. Okay, so the original song, he says every carbonated drink is called a Coke.
Every
But
carbonated
on the version that's
drink
on
is
YouTube
called
right now,
Coke.
currently, it's carbonated drink is called a Coke. But yeah, me and Joel have all been joking about every carbonated drink is called a Coke since we heard it in the song, and I just could not believe that he put that in the song.
This had to be like, what, 7 years ago at least?
But it's not that it's like, it's so true because we all do call them Cokes. It's just funny that it's in a song.
I don't do that.
I do that. I mean, I call a lot of carbonated drinks Coke. Like, just give me a Coke when I'm talking about soda. You don't do that?
No, I don't do that.
I mean, I've done that. I'm not saying like it's wrong. It's just odd that he wrote it in a song.
Yeah, it's not a very good line. It's definitely not very deep. But
Every
it's
carbonated drink is called a Coke.
I wonder if he does that at his sandwich shop. Every sandwich there is just called a sub.
Yeah, I'll take a sub. Gotcha. We got 2 subs over here. The guy's just like, I'll take a BLT. All right, right. Sub. We got another sub over here.
No, I said a BLT.
A BLT.
Yeah, exactly, a sub, right? That's what you said.
So you just
We're
mean a
saying
sub.
the same thing. No, you
I'll
said
take a
sub. I said BLT.
I'll take a chicken salad sandwich.
A chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah, so a sub. You want that toasted? It's like what? And
It's a
so like
sub.
the guys that work for him are just like, what do they want? He just keeps telling them like sub. They want 3 subs.
There's literally just one button on the menu, like press screen thing, and it just says sub.
Would you like a Coke? I'll take orange soda. Okay, Coke. And it goes back to look at his like Coke machine and he put the Coke sticker over every one
Over
of the things.
everything, Coke.
But like he still knows which one is orange soda and stuff. He just like he just calls them all Coke. At this sub shop, every carbonated drink is called a Coke, and every sub is called a sub. We don't discriminate here. It's all about just being equal.
All right. We support equality.
But no, I really like, this is a new line that I didn't even know was the one that says, you can switch from heat to air in the same day.
What's he say before that?
We could name your state by the things you say. Switch from heat to air in the same day.
So those 2 lines are completely unrelated.
Well, no, the song is called "What We Do in the South," or yeah, right. What we do in the South. So it's like it's just a bunch of things that we do in the South.
Okay, the line before that doesn't make any sense to me. We can name your state by the things you say. What is it? What?
So when they're like, "Hey, every carbonated drink's called a Coke," they're like, "Yo, you from Georgia?"
But he just says the South. He didn't say Georgia. That's what I'm confused by. Like, what are they saying in Florida that we don't say here?
Tubular, because they have more ocean there. Radical.
Or what is Alabama saying that we can't say here in Georgia? It's like, oh, he said that word. He must be from Alabama. They exclusively own that one. I just don't get it.
Wait a second. What are you from, Tennessee? What did you just say?
And the problem is we can't say it because we're not from the States.
I said I wanted a sub sandwich. Get out of my restaurant. You're not from Georgia. What? A sub sandwich?
Sub sandwich.
from
What is that?
Alabama?
We just call it subs. Everything here is a sub, bro.
Sub sandwich? What kind of freak are you?
All he wanted was a
are
sandwich.
You from Florida? all I know is subs. We got sub bread and sub meat here. What are you talking about? Ham? What are you talking about? Turkey? What are these words? Who are you?
We know you're not from this state. From the things you say.
What year is it?
It just keeps evolving. He just is losing his mind.
he's stuck in like I just had an idea that he's like stuck in like 1965 and then they're like it's 2018. What? He like freaks out. It's like Back to the Future type moment. He like looks at his clock. He's like, I'm too late, and he just like runs out of the freaking thing. Like, what is going on?
Well, that's certainly one way to go with it.
I don't know. That's not even funny. I don't know why I'm laughing so hard. I'm just thinking about like
It's just so stupid.
him being so like brainwashed by everything. Have you ever seen that movie Blast from the Past with Brandon Fraser and they were like in their bomb shelter or something?
Oh
their
yeah,
house?
yeah.
That's what I think about. Like, he was
But
just
him with
like,
a sub shop.
he was stuck in a sub shop, and there was like an atomic fallout or something like that, and it's like he's just been there the whole time.
Maybe,
He's like, wait a second, they call them sub sandwiches now.
there's
What are you putting on sandwiches?
Pepsi?
Bacon,
PepsiCo?
Pepsi,
Every carbonated
Orange
drink was called a Coke.
soda. Yeah, back in my day, every carbonated drink was called a Coke, and every sub was a sub.
Oh gosh.
That explains it. Yeah. Okay. No, but
So
it is funny.
eat it Brad
switch the heat to
subs.
air. Switch. No, it's not Brad subs. It's Brian subs. Brad works at Brian subs. The switch from heat to air in the same day line does get me though, because it's like as if there was no air before.
He means air conditioning, of course, but it's a very switch from heat to air in the same.
Yeah, but
time.
it's not heat to cool.
Well, nobody
Which
calls
I
it
feel
cool.
would-
I'm just gonna turn on the cool.
That makes more sense.
But
What are
nobody
you talking
says
about?
that.
Oh, it's heat and it's cool. Cool air, heat air. Wait. You know what I'm talking about, though. It's just
No,
like
I
air.
get it, but nobody calls it cool. Hey, go turn on the cool in the house.
But air is in heat. Air is in heat, and air is in cool.
And in the beginning was God, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God.
I feel like by trying to make fun of this guy, I just made fun of myself this whole time. You're way more successful than me.
You own a sandwich shop that doesn't bear your name. Congratulations.
He can't help Brian started it first. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Well, that was dumb.
Next.
Next. Sorry, Brad, if you're listening, but I do love your song, and
We've gotten
I
more
will
enjoyment out of that song than you'll ever realize.
Wait. There's one more thing I gotta mention. There's one more thing that's way more important that I gotta mention.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered this. So his video of him performing the song, you scroll down and there's one comment, and I don't know if it's from his child on his account or if it's just like him, but it's his account, right? Brad Meeks, and the comment says, "Love you, Daddy," to his own video. And so I'm just hoping that it was like his kid that was on his account. But I had this weird idea that it was just him watching it back 8 years later and was just like, "Love you, Daddy." Oh, sorry. I just had to say that.
That is pretty funny.
Wait, don't you have something to talk about? You have a story.
I have some stuff to talk about. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with whatever you want. I mean,
So I'll just jump right into it. We had a health fair at the church that I work at a couple weeks ago. Well, maybe a month ago now. And so they had this drawings and stuff, like prize drawings. If you went to all the stations and got your paper filled out, like checked off, signed off by the different stations. So they had some fitness places like Orange Theory Fitness, and just like all natural, like water filtration thing was there. Some chiropractors, some doctors. They took free blood pressure tests. They were giving flu shots, all that kind of stuff. Like a normal health fair.
all right.
And I've been looking for a chiropractor because my shoulders are kind of jacked up because of my lower back. Anyway,
Old man.
supposedly, I fell some point when I was younger and really jacked it up because my left shoulder is an inch higher than my right shoulder. Super weird.
Your mom's just like keeping it secret. Like, don't tell him
dropped
we
him
dropped
on
him
his
from that
head.
2-story window. He was too blonde.
It's like the opposite of the Nazis. They wanted to kill the blonde children. Too far.
That's too much. The Jews have been under fire too much lately for me to say any more jokes. Actually, speaking of that, I do have to go on a quick tangent.
Hold on.
The last episode that we had, I think it was last episode, I said something about Jews at a part of it, and part of a joke or something.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, those Jews just got like murdered or whatever. The Jews got killed.
But that was after we recorded the episode.
No, I
wasn't
don't
it?
think so. I think it happened like the day before we recorded the episode, I think.
I didn't know about it.
And I didn't even,
Not then, anyway.
it didn't register either. I just didn't know about it yet.
So
And then
if
I
we
was like,
offended
"Oh, man."
anybody,
Yeah. So I felt bad about saying anything about Jewish people. I love Jewish people,
we support Jews.
so, as does God.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Anyway,
On with
so
your story.
back to talking about a chiropractor. So, so I was looking for a chiropractor, and they had this chiropractor there, and they have these little like hand wand things that have like, I don't really know what they are. There's some kind of sensors, and they like rub it down the back, down your spine, and it shows where it's misaligned at, like when it's out of whack. And it seemed legit and all that, and it looked really cool because they show you the exact points and like each vertebrae and all that.
Futuristic.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. And then I look back behind the table, and there's another dude sitting behind the table playing a Nintendo DS. He's a part of this chiropractor's office that they sent out to do this thing, like to do this show. He was part of their 2-person team, and he's just chilling back there. Like this probably 35 or 40-year-old dude, skinny as a rail, just super nerdy looking guy, just chilling back there, like hunched over, playing a Nintendo DS.
Just playing some Operation on his
I don't know
Nintendo
what he
DS.
was playing. And then he had this whole spiel about how he had the most jacked up back and that it couldn't be helped with chiropractic or anything. I'm like, this guy's the worst spokesman for chiropractic office that's ever existed. He doesn't care. He's like super odd for one thing. He was super spastic and like couldn't look you in the eye when he talked to you and stuff. And then he's got a problem that can't even be fixed with chiropractic, but he still goes to the chiropractor, I'm assuming. I don't know. It was super, super weird.
He's like hunched over the whole time.
No, literally,
Like,
yeah, he was. He was sitting in like one of those hard metal chairs and just like hunched over it playing a Nintendo DS.
But he said his back couldn't be fixed. So
Yeah, I guess, I mean, you can't mess it up any more than it already was.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, but so that was weird enough, and that should have been like, hey, don't go to this chiropractor's office. It's weird as crap. Well, they had a $20 special for an initial visit, which is usually expensive. It's usually like $60 for an initial visit, and it was $20, and it went to a local charity. So I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. So I scheduled an appointment for that afternoon because it was $20, and so I go and I'm sitting in there, and they like show me this video with all these testimonies from different patients about did this like, you know, it's, if you've ever been to a chiropractor's office, it's kind of standard. They kind of try to brainwash you a little bit. I feel like they're just trying to convince people that it actually works. But I've been to a chiropractor before, so anyway, so I'm sitting there, and the doctor comes in. He's super, super nice guy, and he's speaking in such a way that would indicate that he's a robot. Like, it was so like, if you've ever seen the episode of SpongeBob where he like gets rid of,
SpongeBob.
where he's like super normal, where he becomes normal, it's like, hi. How are you?
Yeah.
It was very much that, but in real life. So the dude's like super, super nice, just like smile on his face, just a grin, you know, and just talking very, very like this. Just so you come in here and, you know, you want to get something fixed, we can help you. Like that kind of deal. It was super, super weird.
Was he smiling? Was he smiling while he said it?
Yeah, it was like super, like he had done it numerous times before. You could tell it was very like he was reading a chart or like going through what they taught him in med school or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kept that way, and it's still more or less that way. And so he was acting. He was asking me, you know, like, does it hurt when you do this? Does it hurt when you do this? Have you ever had any kind of falls? And every time I would say something, he'd go, thank you. That's important too. Every time I would say anything, it was, thank you. That's important too.
So it was like talking to Siri.
Yeah, and it sounded like a broken record because his tone never changed. The inflections never changed. Nothing. It was like exactly the same every time. And he did that for like 5 minutes while he's asking me all these questions. I like to lost it because it would just seem like he was playing it back off of a recorder or something. But I got to thinking, like, if he was a robot, what better way to kill off the human race than like cracking their neck? Like you're paying them to crack your neck, and oops, this one died.
Quote unquote helping them. Yep. Spine is collapsed.
It's like an iRobot where they have to protect the humans from themselves, so they start trying to kill them off.
It'd be funny if you were like, yeah, what about this? And he's like, thanks, that's important.
And just slumps over.
And just
his battery ran out.
It's like, and then this like chick runs in really quick and like just winds this thing in his back and just, that's important too.
It's like one of those big wind-up keys like used to be on toys.
It's like really obvious. She just comes up there like cranking it. She's like, every couple hours you got to do this. He's just got like some severe spine issues. So he's
got
really,
the most jacked up back.
Yeah,
except for that guy with the Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
What's weird is I've been back to that chiropractor's office several times, and I've never seen the people that were at the health fair. So I don't know how those people got involved. They don't work there.
They're paid actors.
They're the worst. They should pay them to let them act.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a pretty low-level actor when you get hired by a chiropractor office. So, I mean, it's not the best gig in the world.
Yeah, it pays the bills.
They were like, just act like you have a really jacked up back because that'll make them want to come here. And he's like, you sure? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah,
it's reverse
that is
psychology.
what my program is telling me.
Yes, that's important too. Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Yeah, it was just really, really strange.
What, have you met him since then, though? The robot guy?
Yeah, he's my chiropractor. He's the chiropractor.
But does he still act like that?
Not quite as much, but still
You're under the hands of a robot right now?
Man,
scary.
I don't know. It's working, though. Feels good.
Maybe you need to throw like a really weird question in there and see if he's just like, I'm not so sure about that. I don't have an answer for that one. Be like,
Please try again. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
So what team won the 1983 World Series? He's just like, the Chicago White Sox or whatever. He just like bats off like the names. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, or it's like that episode of SpongeBob.
Searching database.
It's like that episode of SpongeBob where they like try to make Mr. Krabs cry because they think he's a robot. So I just start telling these really sad stories and like,
you should just see if he cries when you just tell him something really, really sad.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's my podcast. That's my story for the podcast. So.
Robots can't love. So, how was your date?
What date? People don't know about the date.
Oh, well, okay, guys. We talked about last week. Joel is, he's on Tinder, he's on Bumble, he's on whatever else. Okay, Cupid.
Yeah.
Well, Joel finally found
the
himself
lady situation has improved since last episode, folks. It's been 21 years in the making.
We couldn't be more proud of. I'm sure somebody else would make us proud. So there's got to be somebody else.
There's got to be somebody in this world that'll make me proud.
So yeah, give me some funny deets or just some regular deets that aren't funny at all.
Hold on, I was just looking up who won the 1983 World Series. It was the Baltimore Orioles. It was not the Chicago White Sox.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I just wondered. It would have been really funny if it was, and you just totally guessed. Well, Chicago White Sox.
Turns out I'm the robot. I'm just covering up this whole thing.
That would be funny. Yeah. So I found this girl, and she was actually
on the side of the road, injured.
Well, she was standing on the street corner late at night. I don't know. I had to give her money first. I didn't understand that part of it. No, so I was doing this show. I was doing audio for a play, and she was in the play. And I was like, oh, she's pretty cute. I guess I'll ask her out, because what have I got to lose? I'm not going to see her. It was the last weekend. So I was like, if this is awkward, I only have one more show. How bad can it be? So I was going to ask her out anyway. And then I open up OkCupid before the show, and I'm just, swiping through. And I find her on OkCupid.
Ew.
So I swipe right, because we're a 99% match, which is like insane. And we matched. So that means she had already seen my profile before. And I was like, well, that makes this a heck of a lot easier to ask her out.
Yeah, you just walk up to her with your phone open, like, look, it's me. It's me. It's Mario.
No, this is literally what I did, and I don't know if this is funny or not. I'm just explaining what had happened. So we had this gap between shows on Saturday, which is when I matched with her, because we had a matinee and then a regular time show. So I matched with her right before the first show. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll ask her to dinner. So I go downstairs, and I'm like, so what are you doing for food?
She's like, who are you?
He's like, you look nothing like your profile.
I don't consume food. Oh God,
they're all robots. Yeah, so that was what I said to her, which, I mean, that's whatever. It wasn't that bad of a thing.
What are you doing for food?
Yeah.
What? Excuse me?
Eat food.
Eat
consumption.
Food.
Eat food.
Sub carbonated drink. Coke.
Yeah, so anyway, we went on a date. Oh, well, I guess it was a date. We went to Target to buy we went to Target to buy allergy medication and Oreos. And then
That's a date. That's a date, way. You don't just go get an allergy medicine with just
anybody. Yeah. And then we went to Chick-fil-A. So the funniest part of this whole thing was a Chick-fil-A, we go sit down at our table, all that, and we're sitting there, and we're like close to the back of the room just because it was packed. I mean, it was slammed. And we're sitting there, we just got our food and was about to start eating, and we hear someone talking a little loudly behind us. Not like super loud, not like yelling, but you could tell they were trying to communicate something. So we turned around to look, and it's the owner. And he's going on this whole long spiel about the fires in California and how his brother had lived out there and his whole family's doing all right, but it's important for us to take time to, consider what's happening in this other state and all this stuff and just really be thankful for all that we have and all this stuff. This dude literally went on a rant about that for 5 minutes. And everybody,
the owner of Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, he just comes out in the middle of the room, in the dining room, and starts
so
on
like,
the spiel.
Oh, telling everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
like
not just talking to somebody.
He's talking loudly, and he's just standing in the middle of the eating area, going on about how we're supposed to be, mindful of what's going on in California with all these fires and how terrible it is and all this stuff. And his family's doing good. They've called him. They're safe and all. And like, I get what he was. I guess I understand what he was trying to do. Maybe some people there knew him or something, but most of the people's faces were like, who is this dude and why is he talking like this?
Excuse me? Is this thing on? Hello.
Is this thing on? Yeah, it was just super awkward. So me and her are like looking at each other like, what is happening right now? And when he was done, I was just like, all I wanted was a sandwich. I literally said that. She, of course, had no idea what I was talking about, but I was about to crack up because
as a reference to our last podcast.
Yeah, episode 26, season 2, episode 3.
You should have been like, hello, is this thing on? The fires in California are endangering our species to the south, underwater, Loch Ness.
Thank you, said Sarah. Thank you. That's important too.
They're going to blow Nessie out of the water. It's just funny if he was just like kept getting more personal with it. And my family's doing fine. They still won't talk to me. Ever since Thanksgiving of 2014.
The HIV test came back negative.
I can't have children. I'm sterile.
I'm barren, but it's okay because they think I have a pretty good chance for adoption. Just goes on his whole life story.
And in 4th grade, I poo-poo in my pants. No one likes me.
Mama, please come back. My father left me to buy groceries when I was 3. I have yet to see him since.
Wait, I thought you were talking about your family. Yes, but I have not seen them, but they're doing okay.
That's how I know they're doing okay, because they've not had to call me.
I think to protest the California fires, you all should take your Chick-fil-A sandwiches and throw them in the trash. This will signify your love for the state to the west. Thank you.
Also, go dogs.
And just like the California fires, we should take this match and burn this whole place to the ground.
The whole thing was just a stunt so he could get the insurance money for the building. It's like, why they start interviewing us?
We need better bathrooms here. And the only way they're going to remake this place is if we ignite this Chick-fil-A and watch it as it crumbles to the ground. If you'd like to stay inside the building, that's your choice.
Oh, the insurance company just comes by to interview us afterwards. It's like, so was there anything leading up to this that made you think?
He gave like an 8-minute speech.
We kind of lost it after 3 minutes. We just got bored and went back to eating. And then next thing you know, we're all trapped inside of a falling building.
I mean, we started smelling something kind of funny, and I looked over, and this guy had already burned the whole condiment section was on fire. I've never seen that much ketchup engulfed in flames.
Little did you know, Chick-fil-A sauce was highly flammable. This whole place has been rigged with Chick-fil-A sauce.
Look under your seats.
You get a match. You get a match. You get a match. You get a match. Oh, gosh.
On each match is inscribed a memory from my life that I choose to burn.
This symbolizes my deep hatred for my parents.
It's one of those things where he's like, if there's anything else that you guys would like to get rid of, write it on the chalkboard as we burn this place to the ground. And those memories will also burn, and we can move on.
And we can forget this crummy town and move to California. Isn't California on fire? Isn't this how this started? Dang it.
Oh yeah, but they're fine. My family's fine. Not to make light of the California fires.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing.
It is terrible, and I hope everyone is. Well, I'm sure not everyone is okay, but
his family's doing all right though.
Honestly, I haven't heard anything about that, so I don't really watch the news. But I do know there was fires, so I don't know how many. Has there been lives lost? I would assume.
Probably.
I feel like they have fires there all the time.
They do. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, why though? What is catching over there?
Trees, grass, bushes.
We have trees and grass here, and we're not.
Yeah,
inflamed.
but they were in a drought. Anyway, so
I'm dragged.
That was my first date experience. So that was interesting.
Yeah, did she think it was awkward too though?
Oh yeah, we were both looking at each other like, what
That'd be hilarious
the heck is going on?
You're watching this guy, you're eating your sandwich or whatever, and then you start eating your sandwich, you turn to her and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's nuts. And you look over and she's gone, and you look back and she's standing with him. Ignite this Chick-fil-A! We will not stand for this oppression.
Burn it to the ground. Burn it to the ground.
Ripping up the fundamentals of this establishment. What is the whole thing from SpongeBob where they're like ripping the floorboards off or whatever? Another SpongeBob reference.
Yeah, that's a lot for one episode.
That is a third SpongeBob reference. I have a funny. No, I don't have a funny story, but I have a really stupid story. It's not funny, but it's true and it's stupid and it's educational.
Okay.
All right, so you guys, you've heard of Smosh, right? YouTube channel Smosh.
Yeah, the Smosh hit.
Smosh has been around for
Okay,
years.
don't acknowledge my pun, jerk.
Wait, what? What did you say?
I said it was a Smosh hit.
Oh, a Smosh hit. Okay, I thought you were just naming some obscure channel, one of their other channels. You know, Smosh hit.
No.
Because they do have a channel called Smosh Pit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a Smosh Pit channel, a Smosh Games channel. Anyways, Smosh was this channel created by two friends, Ian and Anthony, way back when. And I remember watching their videos back when I was in middle school and liking some of them. They're pretty funny. It was kind of like watching Nickelodeon or Disney Channel, but that had a little bit of an edge to it.
Yeah. It was teenage stuff.
Yeah.
Teenage,
young
adult.
It was silly, but it was a little edgy.
Yeah. It was cool to like Smosh back then.
Yeah, and so I watched them, and they had they were the most subscribed YouTube channel for a while.
Yeah.
And they were huge, and then they got really more corporate looking as far as the productions. And then one of the guys left, and then it was just that guy was still there, but there's all these actors, and it just became this weird thing. And I didn't really know anything about it, why it got that way, but I was like, whatever. Anyways, the other week, the guy that left Smosh, his name's Anthony, he released a video because the company that owned Smosh apparently went bankrupt last week.
Oh.
Or they closed down. I don't know if they went bankrupt, but they closed shop. And after they had $70 million of investors, which is insane.
Holy
cow. But they said they closed because of marketing issues or whatever. Anyways, the Anthony guy kind of explains the whole deal. Basically, what happened was it was the Anthony guy and Ian, these two friends running this YouTube channel. They got very successful, and this company came to them saying wanting to buy their channel.
Right.
Anyways, they sold the channel to this company that ended up being called Defy Media for $0. They sold the channel for $0.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So get this. They sold the channel for $0 for stock in that company.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the company was private, and they would never get that money until they went public. But the company never went public.
Flip.
So it was private the whole time, so it never went public, so they never got any money. Anyways, they did get hired on by the company as
themselves.
Well,
from the channel that they started.
They got hired on as with salary, a yearly salary type thing.
Oh, okay.
So it was they were making decent, I guess, but they weren't making nearly as much as they would have otherwise. They should have been making.
Right, yeah.
And so that guy left after a while, just this company sucking. And so they have all these actors and stuff to fill the void. They hire them. They're just hired people just like they are, basically.
Right.
And then the other week, the whole thing just collapses, or the company that owned them closed down.
Yeah.
And so now the other guy and those actors and stuff, they have the access to the YouTube channel, so they're still making videos on those channels. They're still going to start making videos on the channels. And these channels have millions and millions of subs, all of them, Smosh Games, Smosh Pit, and regular Smosh. Obviously the main one probably has 25 million subs, but The other ones have like 8 million, 9 million. Like they're solid channels.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it was very, very interesting because I'm like, number one, I have some questions. How are they making money on this channel now? Are they getting the AdSense from it now that the company that owned it shut down?
Yeah, so
And
whoever
then-
technically owned it before, I don't know how that would work. Who would actually
Because
receive the money for
They
it?
actually own the channel, but now they have like apparently access to post on the channels.
Right.
I
I
don't
mean,
know if they're
somebody
actually
has to
getting the-
own the channel. Like, it's just connected to somebody's Gmail account. Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
But I guess they might have like gave them the Gmail, so now they can set up a new AdSense type thing and start getting money from the channels.
Yeah, maybe, but
I would assume. But it was just so shocking to me how dumb it was for them to this
Sell
whole
for
stock
$0.
thing, sell for
Yeah.
$0 and
Well,
to get
if-
stock in a company. Which I guess they thought it was smart. They weren't like the most educated guys in the world and that kind of thing. Because he said like they were just somewhat poor guys from like California, and they were like, oh wow, like we're gonna get rich.
Well, the thing about it is like, yeah, that would have made perfectly good sense if the company was already publicly traded. But if it was
Yeah.
privately owned, like, there's no guarantee at all that that company's ever going public, which they didn't. And so they basically just played them legally to not pay for their company.
Right.
Like, that,
Yeah.
man, they didn't think that one through at all.
I would.
That's a screw up of the week for sure.
Yeah, that's the definite screw up of the week. If they knew they were going to go public, like, hey, we're going to go public like next week or whatever or something like that. But like if they're not public yet, like I would not have done that just assuming that they're going to or them telling you they're going to, I wouldn't even trust.
Yeah, no, because you have no guarantee unless they sign some kind of contract, which then you'd have to be like, okay, they never went public. Now I can sue them for a freaking
Right.
ton of money. But
Yeah, if it had been the contract, like, hey, we're going to go public within the year or something like
Yeah.
that, like you have to.
right, yeah.
But how much money would they have gotten if they just sold it on the dot, I wonder, you know? Shoot.
It would have been a lot because they could have made back in AdSense. I mean, a lot of money really quickly.
What I would have done, this is what I would have done. I would have sold my channel completely to them for like millies.
yeah,
And then I would have said, hey, like I'll be on the channel still and you can hire me for salary. So I would have got that money plus
plus the
yearly
salary. Yeah, heck
Yeah.
yeah.
That would have been the smartest thing to do.
Right, which is a fairly common business move actually. Sell your company and then become an employee there. Like a lot of people do that. They'll sell their company and then be like COO or whatever.
That's why these YouTube people, they got to get some freaking
They
like
get
some
some
financial
lawyers.
like advisors. Yeah.
Well, what do
Help
we
them
know?
out.
We're not rich, so
Yeah.
but
I
neither
mean,
is Smosh. So
not now. But I mean, like, if we had something successful like that, I think we would have thought it through a little more
I would have hired somebody who knew how to think it through for me. I wouldn't have just made that decision myself.
on
That's
your
for
own.
sure.
Yeah. No.
That's like
It was-
paying
it-
taxes. Like, I'm not going to do my own taxes. I'm going to miss crap.
I think with these YouTube people, like they didn't, especially when they like probably sold, which was like a while back. It was kind of like weird to like think that you were like rich or whatever from YouTube. It's probably just like they probably didn't really know what they had on their hands as
Yeah.
much because they were just having fun making YouTube videos,
Right.
you know. And then it like became this huge thing. And I mean, they were probably still making money back then, but not nearly as much as
Not-
like
yeah.
companies
Mm.
made now.
Mm.
Especially with
No.
like now with YouTube really
Well, you said
implementing
that-
more ads and more brand deals. And
Well, you said that company had 70 million in investors.
Yeah, because the guy in the video, the Anthony guy, he posted and he explained all of it. He had posted this thing from like, or he showed this picture from like last year or something. Like that company had $70 million worth of investments into the company, and he was like, "Where's the freaking money gone?
Yeah,
How did
that's
this
my
even happen?"
question. So somebody made out like a flipping bandit and took all that money because if somebody's investing 70 million and it's not publicly traded, then they don't have stock. So they're not paying anybody who invested into that company unless they went in a partnership type thing. But shoot, 70 million? Holy crap.
Yeah, like what happened to that money? And they said they closed due to like market problems or something. I was like, what the? Yeah,
What?
right. Somebody
Yeah.
took the money and
Somebody
run.
took that money and run.
Yeah, for real.
Dang, that's a screw up of the week for sure.
Yeah. How long have we been running?
We're at 48 minutes.
All right, so I got two options for you.
Okay.
I could tell a story from my childhood, or I could talk about the potential super Earth.
Let's do a story from your childhood.
Okay. Guys, I got a doozy for you. This one's gonna rock your world. So I have told the story of me pooping in a urinal before on the podcast, which was a big scarring moment in my childhood. But this week I'm gonna tell one. It also involves poop, and it involves me as a kid. But
Wow, you did a lot of poop stuff as a kid.
I did. This is possibly worse than pooping in a urinal.
Oh,
this
gosh.
No. This was way worse than pooping in the urinal. I mean, pooping in the urinal is like kind of like legend status a little bit. Like that's something you can tell people later on. Like, hey man, I pooped in a freaking urinal, bro. This is not.
That's
cool.
like a power move. It's like, screw you guys, I'm pooping in a urinal.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Oh, the toilet's clogged. I'll poop in the freaking urinal. I don't care.
Screw the system.
But this is not that way. And I'll walk you guys through this one step by step.
Okay.
And so I'm in third grade. The urinal poop story. When I pooped in the urinal, I was in kindergarten. So this was 2 years later.
Okay.
I'm in third grade. I'm 8 years old. I typically don't poop at school because
that's weird.
Obviously, I've had some issues before in the past, and also they're nasty bathrooms. I'd rather just wait till I go home and in the comfort of my own home. So I this day, let me start it off by this. This day, I had worn some blue jeans with not a snap button, but a regular pants button. Back then, I needed the snap button because the regular button was very difficult for me with my small fingers.
As a child, it's difficult.
It's hard
to manipulate, yeah.
So I just I tried to wear the ones with snap buttons.
Yeah.
Anyways, this day, though, I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I have to poo-poo.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Something's
number
in
two.
the chicken nuggets for lunch. We gotta go. So, I get the hall pass, whatever. Get out in the hall, scoot, and it hits me like a brick.
Uh-oh.
I'm
literally
right before I get in. Hits me like a brick. And then I'm like, oh no. I freaking jet into the bathroom. And it's one of those bathrooms that like in all those schools where like there's like a hallway to get into the bathroom for some reason. So it's like, oh my gosh, you're still not in. Like you finally get to the bathroom and then you got to like run like around like a corridor. And so I run all the way in there. Oh, fine. Look in the bathroom. Boom. Oh no, there's not any toilet paper in that one. Boom. There's poop in that one. Ooh, gross. Boom. Open this stall. Okay, we're good. Try to get down. Right. Oh, look down the pants. Look down the pants. And I'm wearing not my snap buttons, but a regular button.
Oh,
not
no.
good, guys, because we are in code red or code brown situation right now. This has to happen right now. So I'm looking at the pants, trying to fasten it. Oh, God. Oh, help me. Jesus. Boom. I explode. It's a volcano. The poop had forced itself out of my butthole so hard it ricocheted off of my pants that I hadn't got open, went all the way up my back, went on every wall, and in north, south, east, and west, there is poo-poo everywhere. And so I'm just like sitting there in shock. I'm also sitting there in something else that starts with an S. And I am just like, what just happened? But that's not the end of the story, guys. It gets even worse.
Oh, God.
And so I'm sitting there, covered in my own feces, and I start to cry a little bit because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm 8 years old and like I pooped everywhere. And like you don't even, when you have poop everywhere, like could potentially be on the back of my neck, you don't even know where to start wiping. Like you don't even know, like when you like have a poop and you like gauge how much toilet paper to take off, and no, I was just like, where would you even start? I need like 3 rolls.
You need a mop before you
Yeah,
need
I
toilet
need to
paper.
take the socks off my feet and just start going. So I'm sitting there and it starts to smell because I've been sitting there for a few minutes and I don't know what to do. And anyways, I hear like the classes end or something like that and kids start coming in. Right?
Uh-oh.
And I'm sitting there and I smell, and so I make sure like it's definitely closed, and like these kids start coming in, and they're like, "Ooh, what's that smell? Ooh, what's that smell, bro? Ooh, that stink." And I'm like, and you just hear in the background, like, who's crying? And I'm in there like crying,
Covered in your own feces.
covered in my own poop, and then I'm just like, and I'm sitting in there, and then like. One of my really good friends, comes in the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to people or whatever, and he smells it. And he looks in there, he's like, kind of looks through the crack, he's like, Ben, is that you? And he opens the freaking door.
You didn't like it?
I tried to, but it was like flint. Like, it was like
Yeah, well, you were in a
elementary
hurry.
school. No, like it was just like not a good lock.
No.
Like none of them were back then. They were just crappy doors
Yeah.
that didn't really lock very well. So like they closed sort of, but you could like kick them open.
Yeah.
Anyways, he like slams it open a little bit, and I'm just sitting there like crying, like looking at my friend. He's like, oh my gosh, and he just like closed the door and like runs out.
What a friend.
I mean, what do you do in that situation? Like, just hand me a towel? I don't know, but like I was just like obviously like
Take a picture.
emotional,
It'll
like
last longer.
yeah, like half crying. If somebody had taken a picture of me in that situation, that would be the worst blackmail. That would be brown mail. And anyways, I sat there for probably 2 or 3 more. Like it felt like 2 or 3 more hours, but I only sat there for really like 30 to 45 minutes. But still, that's a long time.
That long?
To sit there and poop. Well, maybe not. It was close to 30 minutes, I think.
Are you sure?
By half an hour, 20 to 30 minutes. It felt like it. It may have not been that long, but like somebody had to go tell someone.
Yeah.
And so I had been there in a while before even kids started coming in. So I would say it was 20 to 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, someone told like the principal or something, and they came. They called my mom, and everybody showed up. I got free underwear, free sweatpants. I mean, they had to give me like free clothes to like leave the school in because I was covered in crap.
What
I'm
did
sure
they
my
do
mom
with your clothes?
probably burn them in the Chick-fil-A. Just burn them with everything else. No, I don't know what they did with them. I'm sure they just threw them away. But another story where I feel bad for the janitor. And I also feel bad for my mom getting that call and be like, so your son's covered in poop. He's covered in poop.
Like
It's his
literally
own, don't worry.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait, we're not sure. He may have taken a dive into a toilet. We don't really know what happened. This is
He's crying. He's sitting in the middle of the bathroom.
We're not gonna go in there and mess with it because he's covered in poop. You're gonna have to go get your son out.
But yeah, my mom did come and like clean me up, and then she took me home. Oh, she cleaned me up as much as she could there, and then I got home and then took a big bath, and
Ugh, gosh, it's
it
so
was
gross.
it was very embarrassing, and I don't wish that on anyone to be covered in your own poop, and then like your friend come in and like people come in like laughing about it and stuff.
Oh man,
Because it felt terrible, and it was also just embarrassing because I was 8 years old, which it felt like I was way too old for that to happen.
Well,
which,
you
I mean,
kinda were.
I kind of was. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it's all because of those pants, man.
Yeah, that's
to
what
this
I
day,
blame.
you
So
still don't wear regular button pants. You wear elastic, just so that never happens again.
all of my jeans are just elastic band, like fat people pants. That just,
Hey, we don't say fat people. We say
Okay.
thick people.
thick, 2 C's, you thick. Bitch. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my story from my childhood. My childhood's covered in a lot of poop stories. Those are really the 2 main, pooping in the urinal and that one are like my main 2 poop stories.
They're pretty
also
good
had a
poop
pee-
stories.
And then I had a pee story once in like 2nd grade.
Oh, we'll save that one for another time.
But yeah, it's not as bad. That poop story though is the ultimate of poop stories. And if someone has one that rivals that, please just email us at
Please tell us.
butthole.town@gmail.com.
We'll have you on as a special guest. We will get you
Yeah.
recorded if you have a better story than that.
We'll get you recorded, or you can just send me the email of your poop story at
And we'll read it.
butthole.town@gmail.com.
That seems like that would be a good segment for a podcast called Butthole Town.
Yeah, we can read your poop stories. Maybe that's the angle we've been missing this whole time is poop stories. Speaking of poop, I have one joke I have to say.
Okay.
So the other night I was at it was my girlfriend's birthday, so we went to the basketball game at her school.
Okay.
She's in college, so we went to the college basketball game, and one of the players on the team is named Tukey Brown, and with a T, right?
Poor
And then
guy.
halfway through the game, I realized this man has lived his entire life being one letter away from being called Dookie Brown. Can you imagine just living your whole life knowing that you're one letter away from being Dookie Brown?
I'm sure that is not the first time that was brought up.
No, I did find out that's not his given name, Tukey. That's like a nickname.
That's
But,
even
I mean,
worse.
you could have picked a better one. But
Yeah,
come
if
on.
you're going to pick something even worse, gosh.
I can imagine when he doesn't play well. It's like tonight I was Dookie Brown.
Well,
yeah.
anyway, with that, everybody, welcome back to episode number 27, or season 2, episode 4 of the Butthole Town podcast. It's over.
Don't forget to wipe. Don't forget to not do drugs. And don't forget to get your pants with the snap button. Because if you just have that regular one, your thumbs it's just too hard to get and you're going to poop all over yourself. Also, just want to shout out our sponsors for this episode, Chick-fil-A. Hello. Also, we got another shout out from Dang, what was that? Oh, OK Cupid. OK Cupid and Chick-fil-A are our two sponsors for this episode. And just want to thank you guys for sponsoring those stories.
All right.